Only for the last days. Before starting, do you have any questions about the sessions we did? Any questions or clarification? Online class? Online site? If no questions, we will have our last discussion. But before that, we have done the controlling topic. No? That's the last one after the course outline. For some reasons, we wanted to have that before this. To minimize the risk. But no such risk happened, no? We have gone through the what is called past papers, no? All past papers giving some guidelines. Now, 12th one should be done. It has 2 documents. First, we will do the handout. That is also important. This also comes under leading. Power politics comes under leading function, because finally leaders should use this one in organizations. Both are used by power holders. It is used to influence others. Influencing is not bad, no, also influence, positively or negatively. Even power politics are happening in the global level also now. Donald Trump is very good in Russia, right? In Russia. Then Ukraine. For him, the personal behavior or the expectations decides. It is personal, our political judgment. Then the entire world should follow that. But it's not by one single person. Therefore, all these are not common in organizations, but mainly seen in nations, global level. But earlier, these were done in the palaces, like emperors, by emperors, mainly Roman palaces. Therefore, to talk about the pioneered ideas given in this area, then we have to go back to those days, ancient periods of time. Then still one character is there, has said about much more principles about organizational power and politics or societal power and politics. That is sometimes well known to some of you, Niccolo Machiavelli. Right. Sometimes his writings are considered to study about the personality as well. Right. It is not bad actually. Without the Machiavellian personalities, we can't get things done from others. Right. Therefore, for him, one statement can be derived from his ideas. That is, in matters, not the mean. This will see. In means our targets or goal achievement, or the expectations, or the targets, or the tasks, agenda, those matter, whatever the mean or means used to achieve them. All are based on the Machiavellian ideas, the very traditional old ideas. In matters, not the mean, no mean. Right. Therefore, even the mean justifies the achievement, then that should be accepted, or it can be decided as ethical. Right. Therefore, managers are also doing the same thing. No? They are trying to get the task done from others, utilizing their resources, including mainly human resources. For that purpose, they have to influence. Influencing capacity should be done. Power and politics are used to influence. That is more with the leadership. Therefore, managers should be successful leaders. On the leading function, they have to use power politics to influence others. Right. Therefore, Machiavelli is still considered as the father of politics, power and politics. Father of modern power and politics. Modern politics, so power and politics. Modern field आपको परनेवा परनवाई नाली प्लीज जोड़ता है वो टीचर है will have happened to already in the past. Currently, about the body cycle, you say. Right, then with this historical background, we will consider this lesson, right? With these learning outcomes of the session. Right, then in this lesson also there are two things, not two concepts, power, politics. Then we have to identify principles to both. First, we will identify things for power. First, defining that. No? Then identify different types of essence of power. Right, then we will define organizational politics, and we'll see the areas where organizational power and political actions are usable. Right, then importantly, we will identify about 8 different political strategies used by managers or actors. Even sometimes employees can use this over managers. Therefore, we have to identify the actor role, our golden role here. The others are the audience, which are subjected to the actions used by the power holders. Then actor-audience relationship should be analyzed all the time. Actor, audience, relationship. These were considered for the palace emperors. No? Then prince or princess were considered as the actor. Then civilians or the people or citizens were considered as the audience. But all the time we can't see actor happens from the left side. It may happen from the right side as well. The Lanka we have here, then in an election, they will vote. No? Even if they like to change the current government. I am not criticizing, I am explaining the situation. Against some information. They also should know that to avoid such a situation. Market research share money, government market research share money. It is similar to the customers. This type of right, the අපි බලන්න ඕන කොහොම හරි මේ ලාංකික භාවය ආරක්ෂා කරගන්න කප්ලේ හදින්න නැතුව. පටු දේශපාලනේව අවුට් කරලා නේ රට බේර ගන්න බලන්න. ඉන්දියාවේ. ඒකට මේ අනිත් ක්‍රිටිසයිස් කරන උදේ තොරතුරු ලබා දෙන්න ඕනේ ආරක්ෂා කරගන්න. Otherwise, they will make roti. Therefore, finally, all decisions are made upon this one, the use of power and politics. So, Ramadata power is the lavai within many power. Then parents should follow, but different on some matters, not on all matters. Then vice versa. Right, these are some explanations about power, right? Later we will have one or two definitions of it. One explanation that power can be considered as how do you means in playing the actor role, how you as actor tries to get others to carry out your wishes. Others means audience, for the followers, for the participants, for the members. Right. Then this is correct, no? In using power, considering power, generating power, this is targeted. This is expected, no? How the actor tries to get others to carry out the actor's wishes. Next one is also correct, no? Power is the potential or ability to successfully influence another in the social relations. Right. Then it is the capacity to have an expected or desired effect on others' behaviors and actions. Here, others means their behaviors and actions. Right. Finally, we can say it is the social influence. Power is always used to influence in a social relation in different capacities. Right. But all the time we can see actor-audience relationship. Actor-audience relationship. Sometimes employees become actors, then supervisors, audience. Mostly managers and supervisors, actors. Employees, audience. Sometimes trade unions as actors, management as the audience. Right. Then initially power has been defined by the Max Weber, German sociologist. Because sociology should be used to identify a topic like this. Because there should be another relationship in the society to see that. Right. For him, power is the probability that one actor in a social relationship will be in a position to carry out his or her wishes. Though there are resistances. Then if the actor has a certain level of power, though there are resistances, those can be minimized and to in order to get the or implement the idea the actor has. Right. That's what we explained in the previous slide, no? Oh. Oh. Right. Sorry, yeah. It's a customer service. Customer service code. Right. Then that's how Max Weber has defined power. No? Power means the probability where the actor is in a position to carry out his or her own expectations. Though there are resistances or barriers against that. Then barriers are overcome through power by influencing the other in order to carry out the task. Right. That's what we explained in the previous slide also, no? With some other words. Right. That is seen in a very established definition given by sociologists, well-known sociologists in the world, Maxwell. Right. Then this is a recent definition, given in the early 1990s. This is very old, but still these are happening, considered, seen in societies and organizations. Right. Then this was given by Pfeffer. Pfeffer, he is silent. Pfeffer, he says that similar words, have been used by him as well. He says that power is the potential ability or the chance used to influence behavior, change in courses of events, overcoming resistances, as mentioned there, and to get people to do things that they would not otherwise do. Right. If there is no power in the hands of the actor, then audience will not do the things he is expected by him or her. There should be something to do that. The something is called as the power of the actor. Right. Then power can be divided mainly into formal and informal power, but the next definition given by Chester Bernard has much considered about the informal aspect of power than the formal aspect of power. Right. Therefore, through the informal power or the personal power of the actor, he or she can do more influence over the audience than only having the formal power. But normally we have to use both formal power, informal power, and other types of power. All should be used together. Then the very good influence can be done. Right. Okay, don't memorize these definitions, right? But have the keywords and their connections in your mind. Right. Then having defined power, now we are going to identify 5 types or 5 sources of power or 5 bases of power. Five types, otherwise 5 sources or 5 bases. 5 levels කියලා කියන්නත් පුළුවන් නේ. 5 levels. 5 types given. Right. What are these 5 types? Reward power, coercive power, legitimate power, expert or knowledge power, then referent power or the charismatic or personal power. Right. Then I can have a chart here to draw these. Online members, can you see the traditional whiteboard? Not the modern whiteboard. Traditional. Otherwise, I have to minimize this and have one. But no, here letters, no? Draw there. Right. Broadly, organizational power can be divided into formally. That's the normal way we classify other concepts also, no? In studying management and lobbying. In a similar way, we classify groups as formal groups and informal groups. Then communication, no? Also as formal groups and formal communication and informal communication. Then organizational structure also can be divided in a similar way, broadly as formal structure and informal structure. Then power, organizational power also can be done in a similar way. Organizational power, you cannot see, can be done. organizational power. Right. Broadly into two. They can't. No camera, no? Right. Where is the whiteboard? Not here. Huh? Open board, no? Right. Then write in well, no? Organizational power. Broadly two, no? Two categories. Formal, formal power, informal power. Right. Then formal power, right. Then we have to locate the 5 types of power, no? Into the two sides. Right. Then the first 3 can be accommodated into the formal power. First 3. What are the first 3? Mentioned in the particular slide. Then I have to minimize that. First 3. First one, reward, ne? Reward power. I will mention the first word only. Then coercive power. Then legitimate power. Right. Then here, last 2, expert. Expert power. Then referent power. Right. Expert power can be considered as knowledge power. That's how the 5 can be located into the 2. Right. Then when you consider these 5, the last one is very decisive. Last one is the personal power of the power holder. Right. Which comes from the audience. Audience may decide whether the particular leader has been using the power, all 4 types of power, effective or positive to get. Then referent power is finally decided by the audience. It comes from their acceptance or non-acceptance. Right. Therefore, the way the actors use these 4 types of power, right, decide the arousal of his or her referent power. It comes from the audience. Right. The same happens in a society as well. If power holders are not using power to show results to the nation, then people would not consider them as having a good power. Then they will negatively evaluate their behaviors and actions. Then that may lead to reduce the referral power of them for the group. Those are in the handout. Slide, reward power, coercive power. Reward power, coercive power. Then legitimate legitimate power. Right. Those three are considered under the formal. Last two are expert and referent, no? Grace. Right. This is the fourth one, this is the fifth one. 1, 2, 3, no? Right. Then we will move to the slide. Right. There's a way, yeah, this appears here. Right. The reward power means the power holder can use the different resources, limited resources. What we consider as human resource, financial resource, information resource, material, funds, even time. All limited resources can be used, even promotions. But we consider in motivation, two types of rewards, extrinsic and intrinsic rewards. No? Those can be used to influence the audience or members, right? Positively or negatively. But when the reward power is used positively, in an expected way or fairly, in an equitable way, then only the audience will consider it has been used positively, fairly. Otherwise, they will question. They will experience iniquity. That's what we described in motivation models or theories. Right. If reward power is not used positively, then it will lead to reduce the referent power. Last one. That's what I explained, showing the direction, mutual relationship of them with the last one. Right. Then if coercive power, that means fear-making power punishments are used unnecessarily by the power holder, then that will lead to reduce his reputation. Here, referent power means the reputation, others reputation of the leader. Right. Then legitimate power, if the formal decision-making power is used not to have results or in an unacceptable way, then that will also lead to reduce the referent power. Right. Then these have very strong positive or negative relationship, correlation with the last one. Right. If the power holder uses his expertise or knowledge positively, that will give him chances to improve the referent power. Otherwise, decrease that. Some managers are there, they are good in different expertises, no? Not only in one. Therefore, today such people can gain high level of power in an organization because they are multi-capabilities. Such employees are also there, so they are very recognized by managers as well. Right, then even today, when I was traveling, I listened to that radio channel interview with two best players of Anand big match. They have been interviewed. That's what they said. They announced emphasized that while studying now, these are good achievements, sports. And they also said that that allowed them to know how to handle situations facing their lives, different situations. And this will perform in the exams also very well. These people will study very good, remarkable, and eagerly they will study the things also. But they know that they are running out of the time, right? They have to sacrifice the time given for the education for the sports and other. It is positive stress level, not negative one. If they face negative stress level, they will not be balanced, right? If they approach these positively, then they will achieve the excellent results in different aspects, right? Therefore, such people will be recognized by the society, no? Right, as great leaders with high reverent power. Right, that's how the way the first four types of power may decide the level of the last one, fifth one of the power holder, either positively or negatively. Therefore, that can be considered to study a particular area. That's the high concern area in power and politics. What is that? How power should be used, power and politics should be used by power holders ethically. Ethically means the use of other types of power should protect the or enhance the referent power. Not to lose that. Right. That is considered as using power and politics by power holders ethically to safeguard their power in the long run. Therefore, you can consider that also, no? Ethical use of power. I have to delete, no? How to touch eraser? Oh, in this the same different color. Ethical use of power. Right, that means these four types of power should be used to safeguard or enhance the last one, referent power. That's what I displayed, no? Giving these different studies examples. They have the mutual strong relationship, correlation, very progressive, no? If the former one is used positively, the last one will be increased, can be enhanced. Otherwise, it will decrease. Ethical use of power, right? But there are many other ways of describing the ethical use of power. This is the best way with the known chart. With the known charts. Right. Therefore, this relationship should be well known by, well understood by power holders. Otherwise, they will use the last one. For the time, they should know there is a strong relationship of the use of the former one and the appearance of the last one, reverent one. Available monetary note. That time they have misuse it. We open I couldn't know that. They are not wisdom leaders, wisdom led, not visionary. You know, business leaders are the unethical. Selling for chairman, those have not tried to provide run no make other games. Someone of the negative game, other thermal power ingredients. That's the nature of power, no? It was away to misuse power hold. Right. Therefore, those it is highly essential to have the use the wisdom or the vision. Have a vision. Otherwise, people cannot continue. Power holders cannot continue their power in the long run. Share it. Okay, no? This part is very important, no? While knowing this and briefly explaining this, you also better to describe that correlation, relationship of the uses of the first types of power and the appearance of the last one in the hands of the audience, in the hands of the audience, or in the minds of the audience. They will decide that. Right? Because of that relationship, all the time, power holder cannot do the things as he or she wishes. Then they should do the things looking at the mutual relationship of the use of power with the development of power, maintenance of power. Okay, then that relationship can be considered under the heading subheading. It has not been given here. This is an additional thing. But I am explaining based on the organizational behavior. Managers should know that organizational behavior. Then Donald Trump will there. Where the theater power let me check useful thing. Still since he may be using, he has come back and try to do things, new things. But he has very business oriented minds to run a country. That is not bad, no? Even business leaders are more result oriented. But they should know that they are only not business leadership, but societal leadership. Global leadership. Then all decisions matchable to business would not match to run a society. That should be known. So, military Samaj Indonesian Harian and newspaper. This style Harian, programmatic style Harian. Ahmedabad Gavin. The Karagan. Right. The same should be considered by Donald Trump as well. Business for the Manchurian Hamekama, social leadership for Harian. Mergers and acquisitions Harian. What we were going to get we America that's a history. With recorded history in the world. Leaders cannot change it, challenge it. Then people will question and go oppose against those ideas. Right. Therefore, the mutual relationship of these with the last one should be well maintained all the time. By leaders. Otherwise, leaders are no longer considered as leaders. very big. Right. Now we have come to the other concept of the lesson, but both go hand in hand. We can't separate them as two sides of a coin. How politics go hand in hand. Both are interrelated. Both are used to influence others. Right. Sometimes politics can be considered as the behavior person. Power can be considered as a tool used to gain the influence. Right. Politics is the particular behavior and action used by power holders while influencing. Right. Then there are two definitions about organizational politics. First one has been taken from Toffler. That has also been given in the early 1990s. Right. That's the period. 80s, 90s are the periods where a lot of research studies in many areas done now. Golden period. Where revolutions happened in the society, in management. The recent time. Now similar things continue across the 2000. Everybody has come here with the modern technology like AI. In the new millennium, right? Right. He says that organizations or companies are always engaged in internal political struggles, power struggles, fighting, and so on. That's the normal life. We should not worry about that, no? As per that conflict theory, sociology, all the time people embrace those contradictions, passions, problems, issues, debates, disagreements. All happen as per the conflict theory in sociology. But there is another positive theory. That is called functionalism. It says that all actions are positive. On the opposite theory, people will agree, they will compromise, they will try to have win-win situations. But now we are in an era where these things are happening much more than those big things, what happened in the past. Right. So that's the normal life. Therefore, we should not worry about that, but we have to be part of that, as a member in the society or as a member in an organization. Otherwise, we can't win the game. We can't win the game, or we are not accepted as a resource member. Right. That's the normal life. Right. Then these two have defined organizational politics as organizational politics consists of intentional actions, very planned actions, or deliberate actions of influence, used to influence by both individuals and groups. Even an actor can be an individual or a group or an organization. Right. Those are the different units of and identifications of actor. ODS එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Individual කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, group එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්, organization එකක් වෙන්න ODS. Right. For what? Influences are undertaken for what? To enhance and protect their selfishness. Machiavelli lives here. These ideas are living still in a society today. Right, which are used to enhance the protect selfishness or self-interest. When it is very high, when different causes of actions are possible, when alternative actions are possible, that happens in all decision making. No? That's how we define decision making. Different alternative actions should be found, then the best one should be selected and implemented, which are highly political. That's what mentioned in the first definition. Always organizations, managers are political. Otherwise, they can't stand as managers. They can't do their job as managers. Right. Okay. Then we will, as mentioned in the last part of the definition, we will identify some major areas where power and political uses are very high. These are the instances in societies or in organizations. One is, as mentioned in the remote power, when limited resources are trying to be shared on jobs or projects, then such situation bring organizations and societies as very political, highly political. Right. The limited can sampat ne. Kita economic solar can sampat kita kami indama ministry politics selfish itu beda kan. Asing computer resources ne computer same kan mereka dari orang orang That we manager loga submit by the missile. Right. And then the bus is AC messages, we were there only my hands, they were never blind, the one that it was the very medical thing. Very medical thing, it was that day. We don't have any employees like Ganford, the tax should have reference. It is not bad, it is highly used. The current employees can refer to another one as a very trusted one. To be brought to the particular team or the group or the division. That's how the resource limitation can make people behavior very power and political. That is not bad. All the time, these are happening. You will consider to make a decision to satisfy our wishes, ambitions. Right. Right. Then second one, decisions. In all decisions, organizations and actions can be seen as right political, but this is highly seen when long-term decisions or ambiguity or strategic decisions are made, where the information availability is very low. The situation itself high uncertain. Then power holders try to use that. Nature of the decision to engage in the politics, power and politics. But when we consider operational level decision, we can't say no power and politics at all. There are, but it is less compared to the high level of politics seen in the strategic decision making. The nature of the decision maker, power and politics are not, but politics are the nature. The type of the decision. एक इंदा वो मिनिस्टर में एक participants का power and politics use कर. COVID का उनका very wise decision क्या करना है managers का. तो इंदा ना जरूर इंदा के ऊपर भी बड़े करना. हमारे सुने कि भाई चेक एक दाम कहना. भाई शिफ्ट दीजिए कहना नहीं. Now the limited resources, but targets, on target government said, gloves are mass are challenge. The goals, similar to the nature of the decisions, here the nature of the goal also can create the level of the power and politics, right? Then when managers are trying to achieve long-term goals or very complex goals, then they have to engage use much power and politics. That means more influencing capacity should be used. More influencers should be used. That's the meaning. Huh? During the COVID period, they had to use a lot of influencers. Sometimes people should have been invited, brought to the workplace, giving more allowances or ensuring the sanitary facilities, right? Otherwise, people had a fear of reporting at work. Their family members had fear of allowing them to report at work. All challenges should have been overcome. Then managers use different influencing capacities to their behaviors and family members. It should happen actually, otherwise those things those situations would have not been handled by businesses. Even doctors started working for family story and if I put the report, again. minimum charges given effect first day. Those should have not happened. No? Those should have not happened actually. That means that it seems that they are asking more money from average people. As a businessman can do that, but professional cannot do. Even lawyers have the reason because they are not getting a salary, fixed salary. Workers are getting fixed salary. While getting such fixed salaries, allowances, they are refraining in such a decision. It's a common decision, not only on one doctor or another. It's a common. Right. Such a movement is not professional. Right. Not ethical. But government is trying to have a common decision. I don't know. I am not aware that that's the reason. We say if they are doing the same for the lecturers of teachers, then I also have other thing. But we are the people now paying, have been paying the highest taxes to the country for 2-3 years. But we are happy if something is visible now in the development. It is also not seen. High taxes charged and high income generated. No such visible things seen in the country. At least no road construction, renovation, significantly done. Or no continuation of the, what is called that, the southern middle lane, central highway. So we would be happy. Right. Then, in sharing new technology like AI, in order to adapt to the external environment, then organizations, divisions should much use high political behavior. Right. Then, in doing all different kinds of changes, planned changes, unplanned changes, then actors should use influencing capacities. Even within resistances, as mentioned in the definitions, then only they can overcome the resistances and to be able to implement the change agenda. Changes may be considered with ERP changes, quality changes, what is factory renovations, office automation, new projects, undertaking new projects for government organizations doing privatizations. Now it is one of the aims of the government to change the or still the loss-making government entities with the restructuring. Then people will oppose them. Sometimes trade unions will go against it. But in such a period, the administrators should be able to use high power and political influencing capacities to successfully implement. It is not bad actually, no? Need not to continue these loss-making entities as a nation burden. They should be renovated. Then only they will feel profit motives. But profit-making entities should not be considered for them. Profit-making entities. Only loss-making and continuous loss-making entities should be renovated or restarted. Not the profit-making companies. If so, it's a wrong political decision. So should not be that. Sometimes managing the changes in the management should be done, not in the ownership, no, of those organizations. But they should try to change the management, structure of the management. Then people also would be happy. They may worry when the ownership is going to change. Ownership. of the business. Okay, then here we will have a short break for about 20 minutes. Coming back, we will continue the handout. Then after that, we will read that article also. Article on both positive and negative sides of organizational finance. Giving some research-based examples. Then next week we will have your oral presentations. First we will have a team presentations. Since you uploaded the report, I have to go through. Then based on the uploaded report, prepare 7-8 slides to match with the 10-minute presentation. Online members may be having only one team, no? One team. Then from your side, there would be one Zoom presentation. Not Zoom team, team-based presentation. MS team presentation by the online team. Prepare your slides for a 10-minute presentation. Right. Okay, no? Then on the next day, we will try to use the maximum time to finish all presentations. Because the remaining time, I'll have a small review about the subject again. Right. Keep that note in your diaries also, otherwise you will forget. But since it is a teamwork, the members can remind each other. The person who is very what are but it's not tomorrow because we need to take the questions and then the places what you are asking. Otherwise, we will just. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Thế học bên là tiếng là
Okay. You got your relationship with this. Destinations got off, no? Again, we are accurate. Outside is what? Will CAS next CS2 exam in June? June. Application should be done in April. Son got the exemption during that placement days. He didn't do anything, but I told Yusuf that all-level, A-level knowledge is global. Then the same day, evening day,
Is this for CS3?
to assist. They have to then follow the classes. You can go for the exam. It's a mock paper.
So, sometimes more attendance. Attendance and classes.
But placement test should be performed very well.
Yeah, I think it should
80.
80, above 80.
Then after doing that, you can do corporate subjects.
We have to do IT run also.
Yeah, on the current area. 91, 92, 93.
Yes. 91 is for the business level, but business level 2.
Because it is another requirement. Without classes, it can be done, no? IT.
Can be done. But I think it's compulsory for classes. I don't remember exactly.
Compulsory to buy.
Huh?
Compulsory to purchase.
But it's the bank at CSU.
Certificate.
Yeah.
It can be more to see the syllabus. Oh, as a requirement. Can be done. But in the university ICT practical knowledge, it can be done. No?
Sage and Excel. Sage and Excel.
Huh?
Sage and Excel.
Sage.
Sage.
Right. And Excel.
Software and Excel.
Is there a practical component also?
Yeah.
In a lab?
In the lab. 40 marks for the practical. Exactly.
To have an algorithm or something? No,
No,
not such.
like some chart,
Worksheet.
chart, something like that. Preparing chart, we look up.
For those exams, only 50 marks should be done.
Yeah.
50.
Only 50 marks.
He came to 80. Business 2 level. Problem is not reading, studying. I have to, previously I have to instruct. Those are not my familiar subjects. Accountancy. Within, those are very technical. But because of him, I am going through this and telling. I have done the loan about 2 decades ago. Very tough, no? Without one subject, you can't continue. One subject should be completed in one attempt of a stage. So, one subject, those days.
Curriculum is changing in 2025.
Again,
Yeah, in June. Now there's a case
the same happened for us also. Because we had five stages: L1, L2, P1, P2, P3. Right? The 95 sudden syllabus change happened. Only we had 5-6 months to have the advantages passing the upper level from P1. But during the industry exams, we could not do parallel. The syllabus changes happened. P1 pass people were badly downgraded. P2 pass people were positively upgraded. Similar one? No. This is the minor revision or full revision. But there can be 4 stages, no? Even.
No,
No?
3 stages.
3.
3 stages. Now there's a business level, corporate level, and strategic level. But there's a case study for each level.
That is good. Then let's complete in this column. Corporate level 1, even students cannot get the maximum advance. Again, this has 2 completed people will supply in a similar way. I don't, so they don't have. But division makers, we try to maintain the fairness, but the fairness is not. We get marginally. But by the time, if you, as I feel, if you have completed the corporate level, then you can get more advantage of such a syllabus scheme. As I feel, based on the testing. That is in the next year. Oh, in this year. It happens.
This year. In June.
Then it would be a similar one, I think, as I feel. Yeah, at least actually it is the best one, no? Business level, corporate, strategic, operational level, for business level. That's the three levels in management hierarchy. As we study now, some operational level, tactical or middle level, then top level. Syllabus should be, I mean, prepared to match with the industry corporate standards, corporate standards, business standards. Yeah, a case study should be there from the beginning to know how concept should be applied. Make decisions to that level. That's why I am also in many cases.
There is a letter for the. There's a letter for the stream curriculum.
Right. Instruction letter.
Yeah.
That may be in the website also.
No.
No?
I didn't see this letter on the website. It's shared with my apartment.
How many pages?
Let me show.
That may be just stakeholder analysis. Stakeholder analysis to have a division. Justify. How SIMA is CRB? Still they are having the same stages they initially had. So we have to copy them. They will have a one style. If it is the best one, then we have to copy others. We have that. Anyhow, this is better.
This is the.
In a shorter period of time, program can be big for talented students. Talented students. Okay, now we will continue from this point. These are the key areas where we see key circumstances, key areas where we see more and more power and political usages in organizations. Whenever people are sharing resources, limited resources, when they try to make decisions, especially long-range decisions, when they try to achieve very strategic goals, then doing using new technology as a requirement to match with the external environment. Last one, in doing all changes, all kinds of changes, in organizations should engage or must engage in high power and political actions. Otherwise, they cannot use the influences to do these things successfully. Right, we have come to the last learning outcome to know many different power and political strategies used by the actors or used by managers. Right. But the first one, it is well known, no? That's the idea behind networking, collaborating. Yeah, then all alliances, collaborations with the powerful others can be used as power gaining mechanism by individuals and groups. Right. Because as I said in the group and teams, that's the new state in the organization. Earlier we considered formal groups, informal groups. Now the trend is to have different coalitions in societies also. There are different types of coalitions. Alliances. If a political parties, there are a number of names, political parties in this small country. Then the big country. That's a new name. Right. These alliances are used to gain power because individually they cannot do that. Because of that, they are using the alliances. Right. Then coalitions can be identified in different ways, as I mentioned in the group and types of groups in the previous session. It's widely used power and political strategy by individuals and groups, even by countries. The regional alliance of the party है, agreements, START agreements, SEPTA, NAFTA, NATO, UN are also a good example. With the alliance, they try to maybe have to enhance the strongness of the currency. They try to engage in fair trades. But we are now considering what globalization, maybe strategic alliances, alliances with their suppliers, dealers. Then next one, it's a highly Machiavellian principle or practices, embracing or demolishing. Highly embracing or demolishing. If I give a small example, in AGM, sometimes shareholders may have the right to reappoint the previous board of directors of the company. If so, they are going to use the first strategy, embracing the previous board as the new board, the committee. Based on their bad performance, poor performance, they have the right to demolish them, dissolve that, and have a new board of directors. So that is called that they have used the demolition for abolition. It's a small example. That's how the power can be used in an performance by the actors. Here, actors are the shareholders having the voting right in an AGM to appoint the board of directors. Right. Likewise, they can appoint auditors if the previous auditors have not done or they have disclaimed opinions, unnecessary, unfair. They may vote or new vote. Right. Those are examples from accounting area to know how the two types of options can be used by power holders, either embracing or demolishing. Right. This one, divide and rule it. That is a widely used or frequently used power and political strategy. The global level knows. Right. Then this initially happened in the military. Different regiments, different platoons, different brigades. Likewise, in organization, there are different divisions. Yeah, it should be done as per the classical management theories given by Fayol, Max Weber. So should be done. But these are not bad things. Otherwise, administration cannot be done. For business administration cannot be done. Especially by senior management. Right. Then manipulation of classified information in the communication lesson, I said this is a barrier. This is a barrier against effective communication. By the time I might remind that when we do power and political, it is considered as widely used strategy, as mentioned here. Right. Here, information is manipulated to enhance the performance of the audience, and they have to get their right attention to do the task for nothing else. Then this is accepted here in this lesson. though it is not considered positively in communication. Right. Then making a quick showing. This is another super senior's style of power or politics. This is also used to get the right attention of the participants. Even project managers can do this. Middle managers can do this. If executive officer can do this. Sometimes senior workers can do this for the group members. They may show themselves as helping them or appearing for them only for get their attention. This is an impression management strategy to get their right attention. Right. So right perception. Politicians are also doing, no? This is very good. People also think they have to rely upon, no? As per the quick short. This is an impression management strategy used by the actor who has the audience. Right. Then this is another widely used political strategy, especially by multinational companies trying to enter into a particular local market. First, they try to do a favor, not to the community first, but to the government. No? Government. Community government attention again. Right. Then in return, the company expects a massive benefits through such a movement, maybe from the government or from the community. Right. CSR English multinationals. Right. It's a highly power seekers. Power seekers try to do a favor. In return, the seeker expects another favor, more favors from the audience. Right. Therefore, it is said as IOU method. IOU. That's the statement generated. I can party. The audience is supposed to do another favor. That's the meaning of IOU. That the mindset is created in the audience side by the actor. For that purpose, the actor gives a small favor, help to attract them. Right. Then this is highly used by multinational firms. Trying to enter into some new markets. Sir, CDC tobacco, CSR projects. Tobacco different. Coca-Cola company, they also got a Lanka, mobile manufacturers. CSR. Demo. Maruti Suzuki, Bajaj. Those companies should do that. Otherwise, they can't have the right attention of the people from that time. The Nike, Cadbury, so there are a lot of criticisms against those companies regarding abuse child labor, right? Environmental harms, through land cultivation in the Ghana, in the countries, African countries. Minimize them, they are trying to understand globally. Right, then camel said in the tail. It's an old Arabic proverb. Arabic proverb. The camels are mainly in the Arabic area, in the desert areas, but in Srilanka. Then what's the meaning of that statement? You know, the head of pattern of the head of camel is very odd now. When it is inserted into the tail, it is very difficult to pull back. Right? It takes more time and effort to take back. Then the meaning of that in doing changes by managers, we noted that change is one major area where high power and politics can be seen. In doing changes, especially when they are implemented, trying to implement, managers try to do that not at once. All process of the change would not be implemented at once. Instead, the managers or power seekers try to do that in piecemeal, step by step. That's the idea behind Kaizen also. Japanese Kaizen. Doing a small changes on step by step. Not doing everything together. That's the idea behind this. That's the best way, no? To get implemented, right? Successful with minimum resistances from the participant. Right. That's the idea behind that says on strategy. Used with an old Arabic proverb. Camera said in the day. Or in the net. Right. Sometimes the managers or the administrators try to have a nice proposal in a document. Then it is communicated in a meeting. Then people will see that as very good best ones. Then they will agree. Then once the proposal is accepted, then from the following day, it can be implemented. Later on, people cannot oppose that because they have accepted the proposal. Right. That should be done. The power organization and politics power is normal. That is our normal life. Right. Then the next one, waited for a crisis situation. Even the crisis can give a lot of rooms for the power seekers to utilize power and politics. COVID-19. The COVID itself allows people to do what is called unusual things. Right? Tsunami because a crisis situation again, the power seekers can use power easily. Because powerless are very pathetic in such a situation. Powerless parties. The powerful people can invest that situation as a positive one to implement their ambitions. Right. In organizations also it is the same, no? Because in COVID, actually the challenge gives a lot of opportunities for the creativity and innovation. Therefore, this is not bad. Even the challenge should be converted as an opportunity. Come up with new products, right? New processes, or enter into new markets. New markets. Right. Then power is always required to do it. Even successful entrepreneurs are power seekers, risk takers, not risk avoiders. Right. Then next one, taking counsel or instructions of the others or subordinates with caution, with minimum loss of power from them. Right. Therefore, this allows subordinates to participate in the decision making while keeping the power in the hand of the manager. That's what I explained in situational, democratic leadership style also. No? Though it said that everything should be implemented as given by the followers, it is not happening. But finally, managers are trying to take their own decision, and it is communicated to the followers. Now, practically, the full democratic leadership style cannot be seen. But we can see limited democratic leadership style. Right? Because this is not bad, no? Because ultimate aim of managers is to protect the organization. Right? They assume that if they would empower subordinates unnecessarily, it would be a threat to maintain the hierarchy. to the administration of the organization effective. In that fear, they would not release power to the followers unnecessarily. Right, last one, this is based on the resource-based view. Everything happens looking at the, considering the bargaining power between the parties. Right. Then finally, the power politics will come to the equilibrium in the society or in the organization through the bargaining power, balancing of the bargaining power between the parties. Right. It is always there. That is based on the natural theory, biology. Even the nature would come to the equilibrium, no? Right, with its own bargaining power of the forces. Same can be seen in the social sciences, in our normal life and organizations as well. Parties try to come across the equilibrium to the bargaining power. This is seen in even Michael Porter model says that. Right. The industry competition should be analyzed looking at the bargaining power of the company and the other party. Other parties may be the customers, the buyers, the suppliers, competitors, and so on. And even currency fluctuation, depreciation, appreciation happens with the equilibrium to the bargaining power. Right. Even supply equilibrium happens. Customer equilibrium happens through the bargaining power. But information is the key resource. You see, and as under the resources, information. Finally, information should be used to make decisions. So it decides perfection of information. What is called perfection should be there in a society to have rational knowledge. But in developed compared to developed countries, in developing countries we don't see rational knowledge. The key reason is in developed countries the firms are not having perfect market information. In different markets, maybe in share markets, food market, commodity market, in labor market, they don't experience full information available, as said by Herbert Simon. Therefore, all decisions are made subject to that. But anyhow, bargaining power should be considered in all decision-making environment. Bargaining power among the parties. If the company is in a perfect competitive marketplace, this is very crucial, no? If it is a monopoly, then it need not to embrace this. It can easily decide prices, the number of quantity, the level of quality, all can be decided by it alone. But when firms are operating in competitive markets, things decision making happens according to this. But in a monopolistic situation, we don't see. Most bargaining power is with the company because it's the single supplier to the industry, to the market. Then it can decide things in a biased way. But now we don't see monopolistic situation in the modern world. There are few chances for monopolies to be in markets. Right. Then up to this, we have identified 10 such different power political strategies. 10 political strategies. That's the main learning outcome of the handout. Right. These are not only used in organizations, but in the global level societies. Dividing and rolling up, information manipulation, quick showing, cameras saved in the ring, IOUs, prices, using prices, all happening in our society, large societies. Right, then you want a revision question? Discussion question, learning point. Okay, then you are the only one. Okay. Have to have that, no? Right. Okay, then can you share a very meaningful learning point from this lesson to update our quiz page?
Power can be used to influence each other, and organizational power can be divided into formal power and informal power. Under the formal powers, we can consider reward power, coercive power, and legitimate power. And under informal power, expert power, and we can consider as expert power and referent power. Expert power arises based on the knowledge that we have, and referent power means a personal power. If you use reward power, coercive power, legitimate power, and expert power based on the positive reflection of that four powers, that your referent power will be positive.
Yeah.
And there are
Otherwise, it's negative.
otherwise negative.
Okay. Any others from the online side to do all completed? No? No, I think newcomers later on via Teams all were there from the beginning. Okay. On the next day also there is a chance if you are coming. No, next day then you have to get prepared. Presentation. Then this is enough, no? Right. Next day we will have your presentation. Then work with your team. First to report was already finished and submitted. Have slides.
So what about this one?
Some are using formal here. White and black. Has to go for forms. Why you can't come here no, with such a dress code, no, at least for 2 hours. It depends on you. It is also part of communication. No? Part of communication. I am not forcing now. So they can't do that. Online members cannot do. But they can open the camera. They like. They can open the camera at the beginning to show the Discord. So we will have it, no? But we should follow this, no, in as a one of quiz procedure. Yeah, we have a smart video as well. Teacher dagar in there. So I can was Amari. That's how we put in teacher care dagar in Pura. Then they active dagar. Lanka video I can burn it. They not know about it. Informally, they put a small garden and lecture study. Lanka with Ami, you are ready. You are a sucker gun. Taking the Dama, maybe one thing. There are very see.
CSP classes at CE.
CSP
classes at CE. And 3 p.m.
Right. English?
Yeah, English.
Okay. We have added them. Right, then we will go for the research article on the same month. Because of me, Sunday is facing flexibilities. That is my task, but I am considered more or less my son said, just in teaching. But I can't do that for my daughter. he is doing mathematics. I can read these formulas. I can generally support, maybe as a driver, up and down. Whatever the nature of the country, we have to be educated. Don't undermine that. It's the only way. Because without that, we can't do business. We can't balance it with all other tracks without education. That is number one. The Buddhist that the Buddhist education the guy can pick up as I can don't have as well. තව ලංකාවේ තියෙන එක නේද වැලිම ගන්න এডুকেෂන් එක අම්මලා දැන් ඔය ගම්පාදියේ මම යනකොට තේරෙනවා ළමයි දෙවෙන්නේ ඇත්තටම අම්මලා දාත් දෙන්නේ කාඩ් ගන්න පන්ති තියෙන වෙලාව අහන්න රෙකෝඩ් කරන්න පුළුවන් ඔක්කොම අම්මලාම අහන්න ඊට කැමරා එක ගෙනගෙන ඉන්න බීම අයිස්ක්‍රීම් තියාගන්න බැහැ වෙනවා පිළිවෙල වල යන්නේ Fugana charge and they do that. But they are basically there. Still, but they are trying, they are level based to educate. University now we are at a good level. It came in a But I prefer you to take give something back to them. Whenever you are in a good position, don't forget it. Guru Namadagi Nakamane may parent, Guru parent is in the parent. Then only your children will treat you on the same ground. Okay, this is sociology, Samajvidya. Right, then we will move to that article. It deals with organizational politics, OP. In consequences or effects, we have to identify both effects for both consequences, positive and negative. Right. That's how, based on the current literature, current research, this author provides a conceptual or literature review type article here. In research publication, there is a new trend actually. Authors are not gathering data newly, but they are reviewing current literature in the area to give some new hints to other research, future research. Right, then there are two keywords. One is our topic or the concept OB, other is OB. OB is the subject. The subject, we see all these behavioral applications. Right. There's a small abstract, we will read that. Title is Organizational Politics, the Positive and Negative Sides or Negative Effects. Right. Then two ways are there to see the view politics. Either it has a positive thing where social influence processes benefit the organization, or as a negative thing that goes against achieving organizational goals or enhancing performance. This is based on these researchers or sources. However, the concept of organizational politics is a key social influence process that can be either functional or dysfunctional. Same thing is presented here again. Then OP, as argued by various researchers, can be either positive or negative. This paper tries to show both of them with evidence. Right, then introduction part presents the background of the subject area and how the concept evolves. Even some definitions, etc., can be provided here. Right. According to these authors, organizational politics are important since they provide understanding of informal processes, as Mr. Bernard mentioned, defined. Informal processes of conflicts and cooperations. These were highlighted in another definition. And their impact on employee performance. Finally, we have to consider how they will affect the employee performance and job satisfaction. Right. Then Othman 2008 mentions two sides of OP in his paper on the role of justice, trust and job ambiguity. Namely, negative side, which are giving increasing those ambiguity situation in organization or conflicting situation or what is called trustworthy issues. Then we have to agree with that. Those are the negative results of power and politics. Which involves convenient and illegal behaviors, maybe anti-managerial behaviors, anti-social behaviors, like sexual harassments, bullying, thefts, etc. These negative organizational politics are not approved, which are discouraged, disapproved, because there are ethical dilemmas entrusted with them. They are workplace conflicts, which are generated. At the same time, on the other hand, positive organizational politics help have shared goals among different parts. They have shared goals. Stimulating collaborative environments, teamworking environments. In such a way, we have to use power and politics. That's the introduction. Then in the two subheadings, right? More information on positive effects of OP and after that, negative effects of them can be understood. Right. Then under the positive side of organizational politics, as mentioned in the definition, these processes are used by actors as defensive mechanisms to satisfy their self-defensive defenses or selfness. Those are defensive mechanisms. Then, as I said, the lastly identified power and political strategies are highlighted here. One is what? The filtering information. Filtering information. It is a purposeful action of politics as a defensive mechanism. Right. However, organizational policy need not to use to have power manipulation, to increase the trust issues, and to have hidden agendas. Those should not be continued or promoted. Organizational politics can also be functional in ways that are beneficial for more than just using them as a political skill, but as a interactionist approach with the person-based approach, one-to-one analysis. That's what I mentioned in the mutual relationship between the use of 4 types of power with the referent power. Safeguard the referent power. Then it depends on the personal traits of the power user, as mentioned by Machiavelli. Some are eager to have power, some are moderate in that, some are not trying to use power, even there are abilities in them. It's a matter of considering the personality of the person. පොඩි කාලේ ඉඳන් මෙන්නේ සමහර අය ඉන්න ඉස්කෝලේ තියෙන යාළුවෝ IOU method එක use කරනවා. මොනවා හරි එකක් දීලා මේ රුපියක් හරි දීලා මොනවා හරි ගෙනල්ලා දීලා කාලා මචං පොඩි වැඩක් දීලා යන්න කියලා යනවා නේද? ඊපස්සේ බලපහම මේක මේ කරන්නත් දෙන්න දෙයක් කොහොමද කරන්නේ? ඒක අඩු ගානේ බලාගෙන හරි ඉන්න වෙනවා. Those are the power seekers from the childhood. පුණාවත් ඒ වැඩේ කට්ටිය වගේ තමයි මේ කෙනාකනේ නරකමනේ සමාජයේ සම්බන්ධතාවල ස්වභාවය. හැබැයි එයාට තියෙන උදව්වක් ඉඳපුවාම ඉක්මනට කරලා දෙනවා නේ කන්ටැක්ට්ස් දිනවද. එමයි ඉතින් වලත් ඒක. ට්‍රැක් කරපුවාම සමහරට පස්සේ උදව් කරනවා. මම රැකින් හොඳයි කියලා නේ. දැන් රැකින්නේ කොළඹ වෙන හැටේ වෙන්නේ. සතියකින් විතර දෙන සෝෂල් එක. ඒක හොඳයි ඒක. ඒ පොඩි සිද්ධියක් වෙනවා ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රි එකේ රැකින්නේ හොඳයි නේද? පොඩි සෝෂල් එකේ. ඔබේ සේවියවත් හොඳයි පොසිටිව්. නමුත් අර පැත්තත් බලන්න ඕනේ. රැකින්න වගේ මේ අදහස් දෙන්නේ සමාජයට මේ ටිකක් වෙනස් විදියකට බලන්න යමක් කරන්නේ. අර්බුදකාරී අවස්ථාවේ දුරක් එකට ටික වැඩ කරනවා. අර්බුදකාරී අවස්ථාව. It's a matter of considering the personality, type of the personality. Some are very assertive, some are not assertive, extroverts, not introverts. Right. Then positive organizational politics may provide basis to gain competitive advantages. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කිව්වේ. සමහරවිට අර්බුදකාරී අවස්ථාවේදී වාසිකන් ආයතනයට උදව් වෙන ඒ වගේ අය. Especially when people are appropriately politically skilled. Right. It has been suggested that political skill management successfully manages organizational environments under stressful situations, crisisful situations, because they have gained the training already in engaging in those similar activities during the childhood, even during the school periods. Therefore, political skill is an aptitude one. Aptitude it's a cognitive skill. Right. To employ actions to earn feelings, trust, confidence, and sincerity of others. It's a skill. The political skill is highly used by successful leaders to network. Right, to influence others, to get get people around you. This means positive politics are mainly visible when individuals know how to use positive influence behaviors and strategies and evade negative behaviors of them and others, Right. Then when one develops a set of positive political skills, then effective political environment can be created, right? Not to suffer injustice, unfairness, or inequity, right? Which are avoided. Such a great political skill people. The rapid politics here, Bhavishika, they were there. He was the rapid. This is after politics here, what am I power? I got the other side. You got the idea, Sankalp Bhavishika. तो वैसे संकल्प पाविච්චි කරන රාජකාරී ආයතනයක දිගටම ඉන්නවනම් අපිට සංකල්ප පාවෙන්න. මොකද ඒක වැරදි විදිහට පාවිච්චි කරපු ප්‍රතිඵල නැගෙන්නේ. ඒක පොලිටික්ස් වැරදිනේ අපි යුස් කරලා තියෙන වැරදි. වෙනටෝ දිනවල තියෙන හොඳ විදිහට පාවිච්චි කරනවා. සෝෂල් මීඩියා වලත් ඒක වැරදි විදිහට වැරදි පොලිටික්ස් අල්ලගන්න අපරාධ කරන්නේ. ඒ අයුණත් එහෙමයි. දැන් සෙන්ට්‍රල් බැංක් එකේ ඇනවුස්මන්ට් එකක් කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒකේ නම ඉක්ුණා ඒ අයුණින් එනවා වෙනස් විදිහට නේද? තමයි උදාහරණයක් වඩා බැංක් වල. ඒවට අවුලෙන් දාගලා ඒක යනවා. වැද්ද වෙන්න පුළුවන්. අර මේ සංකල්ප ටෙක්නික් වල වැරද්දක් නෑ. අපි ඒවා යූස් කරලා අපේ සමාජයට දාපු ගමන් අර වතුරට තෙලිය යමුනා වගේ වැරදි විදිහට තමයි පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. එතකොට අපිට වෙන්නේ මේ සංකල්පේ වේපාරයි. සංකල්පේ පාරයි. ඒක අපි දන්නේ ඒකෙන් දැන් මේ වැරදි වෙලා තියෙන්නේ කියන්නේ. අරදී භාවිතයේ ඉඳලා එහෙම වෙලා තියෙනවා කියලා හිතන්නේ. ඒකයි ප්‍රශ්නේ. Right. Despera, some view organizational politics as a means for working through conflicts in organizations, and employees use their perception of OP to make sense of the environment that work in. Others argue that being political skill may improve individuals and organizational success and facilitate change, organizational changes. Those managers can easily implement the changes and minimize resistance. That's how That's how we define politics in one definition. Then it allows those organizations to adapt to the environment easily. Then organization mission, objectives, teamwork, concept can be ethically presented in a balanced way. And equality, stakeholder interest, dissimilar stakeholder interest, all can be satisfied properly by these organizations. Right, similar things are mentioned in the first paragraph. The equality is promoted in a conducive political environment. Then organizational efficiency, effectiveness, all can be achieved as we define management. Then all connections, alliances, alliance creation can be done to achieve the organizational goals and objectives. All arguments are politically positive. Then positive political environment creates learning and innovation. Actually, learning and innovation. It allows people to master in learning innovations. Right. Through information sharing now. Right. Then this para highlights the positive politics can provide allow organization to have very effective human resource policies and practices like career transfer, recognition, status, achieving personal goals, organizational goals, right? Policy implementation, job security, then providing all psychological needs for employees, right? Which have been discussed in motivation, no? Right? Then next one, but it's a gameplay, even Meeswell and others have said that power politics gameplay. Then here gamifications computer games everything. Game creative, innovative movements psychological capacity very good. So gamifications games technologies can be used to create and implement effective strategies in organizations. Right. It's a new research area. How gamifications can be done to enhance organizational performance and people behavior. Right. Then last para says it's a successful leadership skills. Therefore, this says this recognizes power politics as an art, not only as a science. That's how we consider management also now. Not only as a science, but as an art. To consider management as an art, these are the key areas we have considered. The behavioral things, informal things should be much considered and included as under the art school, art category. Right. Then similar opposite things can be highlighted, right, based on some other group of scholars, right, to identify negative sides and make it recommendation. Either not them and other not them. Then I recommend private them. Naked them. Groups are not a big narcotic group and needs of limitations in a vacancy. But perception, it's a matter of perceiving the concept for the practice positively or negatively. It depends on the person. Some people may perceive, right, the positive things perceived by others as negative things and vice versa. Then aggressive behavior on the America, which is Japan to the bad. Japan aggressive. They need a very obedient patience. Ultimately, a master. To give definitions, the same person, same behavior. Right. All the organizational politics are widely accepted to have positive potential. As mentioned, there are some group of scholars identify the negative sides of that. This is highlighted even in, as I said, in average people are reluctant to hear these words, especially our country, people in our country, because they have been experiencing negative reasons because of the wrongful use of these concepts by power holders over years, decades, over centuries. Right. Therefore, they say that the key or main drawbacks of power politics are unfairness, deprivation, iniquity in the hands of others. Right. Therefore, because of these, they may limit information sharing by people. Right. As a resource, key resource, information is minimized, manipulated to gain personal advantage. But if through that organizational goals can be enhanced, then it is positive. But sometimes some managers try to use that for their personal benefit. Then it is negative. Right. Then certainty issues are there. Self-interest actors tend to satisfy their personal agenda. Right. If so, the power and politics should not be accepted. Right. Then here, job performance can, organizational engagement, commitment can go down in such an environment because people experience anxiety, deprivation, iniquity, anxiety. I said that, no? What is unfairness? Those things. Then even people will not come to such workplaces to work hearing these things. They will refrain from even applying for those job vacancies. Those are long-term issues faced by those organizations as well. It is very difficult to do HR effective, to recruit people. Then branding, company branding, those are impossible. Even suppliers are reluctant to deal with these companies. Not only customers, suppliers are also reluctant to deal with these companies. Then, as mentioned there, the opposite way, negative political environment will enhance stress level of people. These people cannot work with the concentration. Even such managers cannot make decisions with the concentration. But in such organization, these senior managers are playing these things. Not the middle and lower level managers. Such decisions to say bad political environment should be considered with the senior managers' power and political behavior of those organizations. Sometimes the middle managers are working because they don't have another option to leave because of that. Some other, they have signed for contracts to continue their jobs until such a period. Then they can't violate that one. The loans company are individual. They can't leave from the company. There are one requirements. These people only remain. There's no options. Because they know that these people should remain for a couple of years. Right? Right, then there are communication barriers. Then information is critically used by those power holders. No knowledge sharing, likely to have knowledge sharing networks. Then all groups in the organization may have dissimilar opinions, views about the project or propaganda. Their views are completely dissimilar each other. Right. Then these organizations may have poor learning possibilities, less creative, innovative. Then no opportunities for apprenticeship in these organizations. Juniors cannot learn, develop their behavior because no opportunities, no sound cultures, climates. But they will tolerate such untrustworthy environments, untrustworthy behaviors due to those barriers. They leave from the organization for some years. Right, then as said, Machiavellian type individual characteristics may have eager to, what is called high focus to have power need or locus of control. But as I said, that statement is not bad. Even with these behaviors, negative behaviors, if the organization tries to enhance the performance in results, then I think we have to accept it. That's what they mentioned. It matters, not the mean. Even using these negative means, the organization can enhance the performance in the market. Then I think we have to accept those things. Such organizations are also there, no? Especially family business organizations, it's such behavioral patterns, high power seeking behaviors may be performing very well in the market. Or family business companies, so private companies. Then people may work forever in these business. The reason is that, as Machiavellian principle mentioned, pointed out, if these negative behavioral patterns may help enhance performance of the organization in the industry of the market, I think they have to advantage of these organizations. Because they are well paid financially. Yes, those people will remain in such an organization. For them, it is not a burden. But internally, they may seek some opposite, opposite drivers, political environments. But they can't change it currently. But whenever the organization ownership gets changed, yes, they will realize the need of changing those stuff. Until then, they will remain. Right? It's a matter of changing the ownership as not only the management. Ownership. That's the object. It depends on the outside, the influences of the outside forces, like industry change or high globalization, global competition in the local market, then they may think of changing that ownership. To the total public level, then the situation may get changed. There are such companies in Sri Lanka also. It changed from moved from family business to private company to the corporate public. Due to the agents and other rights. Then as a culture, the whole culture should have been changed. You are flexible. It appointed board of directors. And shareholders have power to appoint and reappoint it. Then that policy change, that power and political negative culture may also be changed. in future. But I am not telling family business, business are not performing well. Even today, the best performing companies are family businesses. Toyota, Ambani, Adani, right? But in France also there are big family businesses after. Here Walmart is a family business. Walmart family. Other word then the said escalation is not an exception to undermine the good management of family businesses. They are the good management strategies. Family businesses are the good management strategies. To expand business. But yeah, they have gone to the company total public level also. Total public. PLC level also. Like the summary, similar things as summary, what we started to say and how we finish the article. I think these key points of the summary conclusion can be given. What it says, these argue unitary notion of organizations affirm that members of an organization work towards common goals. Right? If this happens, whatever the means, power political means, strategies, then they should be accepted as the Machiavellian wisdom. Right. In a present setting wherein organizational and political actions can be seen anomalous. Right. This may not be the case since organizations are a combination of various individuals and a plurality of interest groups. And thus internal politics may be a natural thing. Right. So organizations are a collection of people, but their ultimate goal is to satisfy the results or goals. Ultimate aim is to satisfy the goals. Because of that, we have to say power and politics are not bad. If they allow to achieve the end result, as said by Machiavelli, then we have to accept it. We have to consider these as ethical or requirements. Of course, one cannot ignore the possibility that people with certain personality types are more likely to engage in organizational politics. It also happens, such as Machiavellian orientation to have grand power. In addition, these argue that employees need to be appropriately political skilled, not only managers, in order for ideas to flow from one process to another, to communicate from lower to top in the hierarchy. Too much silence is not good, no, as we described, no. Then managers cannot hear what employees need. But even customers wanted to have as said for employees. This may be seen as a positive effect. Lawrence and others also argue that managers must understand that organizations need active actors, even from employeehood, who are willing to engage in political behavior that pushes ideas forward, even from their side. Therefore, politics is highly essential. Our politics are highly essential. But problem is how to use them to achieve the end result. It is again the common organizational goal should be achieved. Not only goals of a few of them, few of people. Society का ते मैंने democratic goals achieve करना, politics use करना, biospheric level. तमांगी वाटे ही ना satisfy करना level. Majority of people should be benefited. Democratic क्या नहीं कर majority. Organization also same. Majority should be benefited, not a minority. Right. Equality fairness right. That's how we should judge the effect of politics. Looking at the way they satisfy the majority's goal or the minority's goal. Right. How did they even democracy democratic majority support majority, not the minority. But another can argue that no, the successful decision makers are in the minority, maybe 2-3% in the society. Then they have the freedom to utilize what they want, right, in order to run a business. Can argue for that as well, right? Okay, with this we will wind up the today's lesson. We use two materials. So this is very sensitive area, power politics. This is I will upload that. Then on the next day we will have your oral presentations first. Get ready for that as I explained. Try to prepare 6-7 slides, not more than that, from the uploaded document to the LMS. Then slide preparation technique is different, no? There should be minimum words, right? Then more explanations can be given during the presentation. Orally, yeah. You can use animations, colors, large fonts, even pictures, etc. appropriate.